Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear contestants, it's a great day for High Nooners. The ballot is here specifically for table topics. I would say start from number 10. Please put the first contestant, Abby's name there, and the second Joe, and third Chris. So from outside in, and please take a moment to read the reverse, the different criterias on how you would judge. The judges have all been briefed. Once your judging is over, I will collect it with my ballot counters. We will probably go and do the counting and come back. At this point, do you have any questions about the judging or the timing, dear contestants? You're all ready to go? So the process would be that all of you would be going out. The Sergeant of Arms will be taking you long, maybe to the Osman parking lot. And one by one, we will have you come in. So that's the way we'll do it. Any questions, timers? You ready? Okay, so contestants, if you would leave the room, and except the first contestant.
Except you get to stay, Abby.
Oh, no.
All right. Please help me welcome Abby. Question of the day. What is one downside to the modern day world?
Well, they're fellow Toastmasters, and any guests today? No distinguished guests today. There are many, I'm sorry, what was your name?
Digant Borgohain.
Thank you for coming today. There are many downfalls to our society today. I think technology is probably the one. We're so bombarded from the time we get up until the time we go to bed at night. Technology is in our face. It drives everything we do. I like to turn things off and calm down and center myself and find out where I am, start from where I am, use the tools that I have around me, and move to a better place. I turn off my cell phone. I turn off my computer. I turn off the satellite dish or the cable TV. I lay on my bed. My body starts to calm down and I stop shaking from all the technology and the energy around us. Then if I have something really important to do, then I brainstorm. How will I fix it? What will I do? What is my purpose? And how do I get where I need to go and add value? How do I help other people and move into the future and adding that value? And what is it that I really want to do? I want to turn technology off. Sometimes I'll turn it on. I might need it, but it's there as a tool, not as a driver.
Please take 1 minute for evaluation.
You can sit here.
Oh, you get to stay now.
Ash, you can bring in Joe, please.
Joe, please come here.
Okay, everyone please help me welcome Joe to the stage. The table topics question of the day is, what is one downside to the modern day world?
The downside of the modern world is that we don't take ourselves seriously enough. That is a reason why we don't do as much as we possibly can do. Several times in my life, I've experienced this possibility that I didn't go see someone I cared about because I didn't think it was important. Other times, I didn't take a job that I thought would be useful to me. In fact, almost everything I did that was valuable was encouraged by other people. I didn't take the initiative myself. And it was all based on the way I was brought up as a child. So the moral of the story is, try to take advantage of what you can do and who you are, and take risks. Don't let don't tell yourself the bad things. Do the good things. Expect to take risks, sometimes to lose, but more often you will discover wonderful surprises inside of you.
We have 1 minute for evaluation, please. Everyone, please help me welcome Chris. The table topics question of the day is, what is one downside to the modern day world?
Electronics, I think, and constant connectivity. We are no longer using our own brains to store gigabytes, terabytes, teraflops of data that interests us, and that allows us to become experts. The age that we're in now has completely destroyed what we can consider an expert. Everybody's an expert. They can instantly pick up their phone and answer any trivia question. Nobody is an expert anymore. Everybody is. And I think when everybody has the same device, to put it in terms that everybody can understand, with the movie The Incredibles, when everybody knows something, nobody knows anything. We should step back and put our smartphones away, get into reality, and let our brains become smarter. I think that would be one way to improve our society today.
10 minutes for evaluation, please. please, with the other Chris.
Number 4, Christie.
Table topics question of the day. What is one downside to the modern day world?
Madam's Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, what is one downside to the modern day world? That's a really good question for me because I always find myself fighting between loving the modern day world and loving all the technology of it and everything that you can do with it. I remember hearing about the internet when I was a young kid and thinking, that's amazing, you could learn anything. But now as I get older and find myself surrounded by thousands of kids' toys, all that are electronic, and all that just add up, and really you lose your imagination to it. I think the modern day world has made so many things so convenient that we lose a lot of our creativity for solving problems, which used to be a requirement to just survive, right? And so I think it's a lot of those things. I think I would summarize it as the ability to do things that you have to now force yourself to do that were just part of life previous. This weekend it came up about activity, right? And so right now everybody's talking about how you sit all day, and activity is something you have to force because nobody needs to be active. Well, used to be activity was just survival. You had to find food, you had to run from things that were going to eat you, and if you didn't have activity, you just wouldn't be around. So I think the modern day world, removing that from us, removing that creativity from us is probably the worst part of it.
1 minute for evaluation, please. Please help me welcome John. Table topics question of the day. What's one downside to the modern day world?
One downside to the modern day world. Generation X. So, majority of the technology that's developed today is developed by people like me. Because we're like interesting, energetic, we like to create things. Although the person that makes YouTube is a little older, and for the Facebook, it's created by individuals like my age. And what do? We totally screw up the wheel of communication. You know, it's like, you know, family gets together and communicates. You call people on the phone to basically interact with them. That communication style, it's awesome. You look forward to it. And if you're in love with somebody, you wait for the letters to come in the mail because you're so excited to read it. That's the old. But the new, yeah, you rush into the Facebook, you open up your Facebook, you read a lot of comments about kids in high school making fun of each other. That's disrupting their future. And also, families, parents are basically trying to convince their children not to be on Facebook too much because it's totally destroying their social skills. They have nothing to do but be on Facebook. So the downside of the modern life is the technology. I know I'm part of it. I play a role in it. I made applications that make people talk. But the only thing that we need to fix is my generation. We should stop making things that really entertain people. I mean, reduce it a little bit. Although we make a lot of money from it. People of my age are like the most multi-millionaire that you can think of. I mean, look at Facebook. It's like a billionaire. It's a little bit like a year older than me. Are you kidding me? I mean, I want to be on that stage too. But the reality is, people of my age are the one that kind of like really interrupt the advancement of our society. We might be advancing in technology, but our social morals is out. Thank you.
1 minute for evaluation, please. Help me welcome Jennifer. Table topics question of the day. What's one downside to the modern day world?
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and fellow contestants. What's one downside to the modern world? To be honest, we live in a modern world. I've never had the chance not to live in a modern world. So I kind of find it hard to answer that question. One of the things I appreciate most about the modern world is the microwave. I love corn on the cob and I love fresh vegetables. We have a garden every year where we grow our fresh vegetables. And one of our favorite meals is a BLT and corn on the cob. Earlier this year, living in the modern world, looking at my corn on the cob and looking at my microwave, I was thinking there has to be a way that you can put these two things together. So I grabbed my phone, connected to the internet, and searched how to cook corn on the cob in the microwave. And I learned that you can do it. All you need to do is husk your corn on the cob like you would normally do. Then you wrap it in a wet paper towel. Not too wet, just damp enough, but wet enough that it will steam it. I've had up to 10, actually no, it was 7 ears I had in the microwave. I wrap them, place them in a pyramid, and it's 2 minutes for each piece, for each corn on the cob that you get. Sure enough, after 14 minutes, the microwave dinged, pulled it out, we put our butter on it, we put our salt on it, had it with our BLTs, and it was fabulous. So again, not knowing what it's like not to live in the modern world, I really appreciate the things that we have in the modern world. Thank you.
1 minute for evaluation, please. You guys want to do this? Do you want to all come up, or do you want me to call out each person? Everyone can come up? Okay. I would say we could have seats, but not enough. All right.
You got the right word.
That's okay. You can be in any order you want. So, if any of you were here for the humorous speech contest, you know that Amy mentioned her secret superpower is the ability to embarrass her children. That's not necessarily a common one, but I think it's a unique one for sure. So I wanted to know from each of you, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Can we just jump on Joe?
Yeah, Joe, we'll go down the line.
I guess I would like to have the power to see the future. I'm really quite interested to see what the result is of all our troubles.
Next, I would like to have the power of lots of speedy arms to get everything done quickly.
I would like to have the power of an incredible memory. My memory isn't that good to start with, but there's so many things. My kids are 5 and 8. There's so many things in the last 8 years they've done or said. And of course, you try to write them down, but by the time my son was 4, I had forgotten to write anything down. So just remembering all the stories and the cute things that they did. And of course, now I don't, and so I wish I could remember that.
Okay, mine would be an effective entertainment. Because, majority of people nowadays either down or home. If someone is down up and wants to be able to join in with it, just be all energetic. And at the same time, on the flip side, if someone is down, you want to be able to entertain and help to get down.
Well, I guess mine would be probably be in more places than I can, like multiple places at once. Like I feel like there's so many things that I'd love to do that you just don't have time for, especially when you have kids. It seems like you realize that you always want to be there, and I always need to be trying to get stuff done. I just can't sit still on a lot of things, so being in more places than one would be awesome.
If I had a superpower, I guess it would be to make anything out of anything, you know, not necessarily life, because that's just, I don't want to mess with the ecosystem. But I just don't have that far of a big picture ideal, but if I see somebody needs something, I'll just, give a little dirt, here, have a phone. It wouldn't be a smartphone, of course, but you'd have to find out how to microwave your corn on something else. So, but anyway, just being able to make whatever with whatever resources you have.
Kind of like MacGyver.
Yes, yeah, MacGyver is my superhero.
The MacGyver superpower.
Except I wouldn't get locked in a room to begin with.
Alright, this next question actually has to do with memories. Would you rather lose all your old memories or never be able to make new ones?
Obviously, I have to pick the second one, but it's two very bad choices.
You have to lose, I guess I wouldn't want to lose the memories. If you had to weigh the balance, the new things that are coming are going to be wonderful, but I wouldn't want to lose the memories because you've already lost some of those folks and you don't want to have them with them. And your relationships that you built with them and how you share them with others.
That's a really tough question to answer too, and I think your point in life, but either way you can go either way on it. I was just talking about the great memories that I had with my children. It's a hard question to answer. My parents are still around, my husband's parents are still around, so I would hate to lose any of the memories that I have. Not to make any more, but I'm gonna live for a while longer too, so I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting. So since I'm really still in respect to the older ones, before I make any decision, I'll take a tape recorder and quickly record every single thing that I need to, that are important, and then I will choose to forget my past because I still have a lot of years to go.
Well, being that I'm still young.
Look what I started with.
No, I would say, as long as I was aware of it, if I was cognizant of the fact that I couldn't make any more new memories, it might be kind of a nice thing because then you'd always live in the present with things if you couldn't remember any going forward. And then I would say, yeah, definitely keep the ones from the past. Even though I'm still young.
I'm just trying to think, being that I'm old enough to remember time before internet, that, do I want to remember those memories that of a time in doing activities that would probably get most 5-year-olds arrested nowadays, running around town free range with a BB gun shooting sparrows. I mean, that's a memory that John will never have. Or do I go through life in a real life 50 first dates scenario? Because you wake up, the best you can hope to have is your memories make you who you are up to that point. And if you forget those memories, you can only hope that those lost memories are still affecting who you are today. And just some basic instinct, you have no idea what it is. I'd say that as long as it didn't change who you were, I'd rather make new ones.
yourself in trouble quickly.
You wanna
Yeah.
make new trouble.
All right. What is one thing that you have not done that you really wanted to?
I'm going.
Yep.
I would like to give a TED talk.
Oh, yes. That's on my bucket list. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have been, it's so long, so I don't know. I want to jump out of airplane, which is, everybody wants to do that. I want to get married, which I haven't done. Have kids, which I haven't done. So
You're so young. that
Yeah,
you-
it's just too young that it's just a long
Essentially, you
list.
wanna build your future.
Yes, thank you. That's one word. I want to build my future.
I'm trying to think of what I find that I do want to pursue my PhD. And I sorry. And create some new jobs for myself. So that's the next one on my bucket list.
I would like to think of noble things on my bucket list, but I'm gonna be a little selfish and say that one thing I haven't done that I really want to do is vacation in a place like Bora Bora, where they have those huts over the ocean and you walk on the dock out to them. You can see the fish swimming around and they're air conditioned in a modern world. So that's what I'd like to do, vacation in Bora Bora or Tahiti.
So can I do that?
Oh.
I would agree that a TED Talk would be an excellent, that's definitely one of my items on my list. But something probably a little bit sooner than that I'd love to do is I'd love to get my private pilot's license. I just love planes and flying. Being able to do it on my own, yes.
I would have to say that I've had several people tell me that I would be a good candidate to go on a mission trip to help build something for another country. The first thing that came to mind was something adventurous, but I'm planning a wild caving tour for next year. I have gone up to about 12,000 feet in a hot air balloon. I have bungee jumped, and I have jumped out of an airplane. So I might as well help somebody else instead of try and see how fast I can hit the earth. So, but yeah, I think a mission trip would be something that I would, because I don't really understand that. And I think to understand that would be a good memory.
The Peace Corps might help you.
All right. Well, that is all of our questions for today. Thank you.
That's a really good question. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, it's like one word. Like the kind of go. Yeah, you just did that.
Yours could be preferable.
I remember Jen. It was like just a single word. Just a single word is all I said. Yeah. Yeah, I remember because I was juggling it when I heard the first one. I was like, and it was
Right. We are ready to announce the winners of today's contest, and we have 3. So we will start with 3rd place. Please help me welcome John.
No more questions.
We're not table topic.
All right. Next, I will be announcing 2nd place, and we will be sending both 1st and 2nd place on to the area contest. So, 2nd place today is Chris Nibby. All right, everyone needs to do a drum roll thing. First place for our Table Topics contest is Chris Lugenfeld.
ladies and gentlemen, please have another round of applause for the fantastic contestants in this room. I don't think they've ever had 6 contestants competing, which just shows the level was so high,
Yeah.
and I had to almost buy some Pepsi and that because it was razor thin,
Yeah.
the judging, and everybody did a marvelous job. It was very difficult to find out. I wish there were more spots to give because the quality is so high, the standard is so high. So everybody should feel very good about where you did and what you did because it was extremely close. I've never been to such a close contest. So thank you very much.
Right, I think before we close today, we're actually closing a little early. Is there any more announcements? Or, Tanya?
I would like to announce that our club, High Nooners, which I am a member, has volunteered to help host, by default, to help host the area fall contest, which is Saturday, September 20th. And the other areas are willing to help pitch in as well. The other clubs in Winona, I've met them, they're awesome, and they already have their 2 winners of their table topic. They're sending 1 person for table topic and 1 person for the humorist because there's the people who got second can't make it that night. Otherwise, they would have 4 people coming. And the Bright Mondays is coming, and the Mayo Support Center group, I'm meeting with them tomorrow. I'm giving a speech there, and they're coming. So I'm looking for people who, if you aren't competing, I do need all roles filled, and I'll be getting volunteers from all 4 clubs. But I need a Toastmaster, a Sergeant at Arms, some people to judge, some people to count ballots, etc. So I will be sending out an email, and please feel free to volunteer, and that would be awesome. And please come, even if you aren't going to volunteer and you don't feel like working, please come to be there to cheer on your competitors. Please bring your family and friends. Family and friends are free. All right? That's it. Thank you.
And we'll be, next week's Toastmaster, we'll be practicing Chris Davies' speech, your speech again. So he has kind of told us that he's going to completely change it. Maybe grow his hair 3-4 inches more. Extensions. Please come and give very critical feedback next week, and Abby is also speaking. And for the 3rd speech, you are listed as a 3rd speaker because you were supposed to be next week. Are you going to speak on something else? Or?
I certainly can, or I can leave it open if you guys wanted to get more table topics in.
We are sending champions for table topics. We want speeches, so.
All right, perfect. Can we know or meet our guest today?
My name is Vikan Borgohain. I think I came in the last meeting also. And I'm in information technology, and I work for outpatient pharmacies and DME stores. Thanks.
Welcome.
You're welcome anytime to come here. I'm seeing a future Toastmaster. I'm seeing a future speaker. We were all like that. I would say these are some of the most courageous people you see walking the campus of Mayo Clinic. Because it takes a lot of courage to come and talk. And I think for all of us who are doing this, it's something that we wanted to do for a long time. It's a realization, it's a dream come true, and it's actually fulfillment of what we really were meant to do. Talk. So anytime you have my email and all that, please let me know.
All right, great meeting, great contest. Thank you to everyone. You did wonderful.
Thank you.
I did print out a few flyers if you want to take some back with you to let others know for the open house next week.
Oh, yes. Open house next week. Help him improve it. Did you want to?